Sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of myself and be like, ooh. Your skin is quite hot, which is good. It means that all the nutrients that are in your blood are coming to the skin, that wound healing process. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be updating you finally on my microneedling at home. So I'll link my first video up here. It's actually been over a year since I first started microneedling to help with my skin texture and acne scarring. I have been seeing some comments on that video asking for an update, so here you go. If this is the first video you're seeing of mine, hello, welcome. I'm so happy that you have decided to join us today. I initially began this channel when I had very severe acne and I ended up taking Roaccutane for 6 months to clear my skin. And I can link that video up here too. And thankfully my skin is still quite clear to this day. But the one thing that I have struggled with since then is acne scarring and texture and pigmentation. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I have tried so many products, and I love to try lots of different products for acne scarring and pigmentation and to get my skin to the perfect glazed donut, glowy goddess state that it can be. But I've never had much success with actually targeting my acne scarring, like the texture, until microneedling. I will insert some clips of my acne scarring from when I first came off Roaccutane, and I'll also show you what my skin looked like when I first started microneedling, if I can find some clips. So as you can see, the type of acne scarring that I had was some subtle rolling scars and some pittedness. Those are the terms that my dermatologist gave me. I had looked at going back to my dermatologist to get professional microneedling or laser, but that can be so pricey. So I'm really excited that I did try microneedling, and it's something that I've continued over this year. The brand that I have been using is Banisher. Today I'm going to be talking about the Banisher 2.0. That's what this little doobie-whacker is called. The premise behind microneedling is that you are creating tiny abrasions into the subsurface layer of your skin, which essentially harnesses your skin's natural wound healing capabilities. Your skin starts to repair those tiny abrasions, which essentially fills in the existing scarring over time. And so why I like the Banisher in particular is that these needles are gold plated and they're a 0.5 millimeter length, which from my research when I was looking at microneedling is safe for at-home use. This should stay sharp for around 10 uses, and Banisher recommends that you replace the Banisher after about 10 uses. So you don't want to be using anything longer than about 0.5 millimeters to create these little abrasions unless you're trained to do so or seeing somebody who's trained to do so, because you'll create deeper damage, which is not what we are trying to do here. But if you are interested in at-home microneedling and whether you choose to use the Banisher or not, it's very important that you do your own research. This is one of my favorite diagrams though that I just want to show you. And this shows how the Banisher is different from traditional at-home microneedling tools. So essentially the Banisher is a stamp style microneedling tool, which means that you're making vertical abrasions into the skin, which is a lot more controlled than a rolling style microneedling tool. Microneedling has also been shown to be effective for fine lines and wrinkles, reducing dark marks on the skin, and also it improves penetration of products that you put on after microneedling. So for me, I really love to use vitamin C or niacinamide. The Ordinary's niacinamide serum is also really great. I've also been using another serum from The Ordinary. I think it's called Aloe and NAG. I'll write it here. Essentially any serum that is not an AHA or a BHA or a retinol should be fine to use after microneedling. I do really like the Banisher serum. This has actually become my favorite vitamin C serum because it doesn't break me out. I have extremely sensitive skin, and some other vitamin C serums that I've used from The Ordinary and also some other brands have broken me out. I love the texture of this. This is a glycerin based vitamin C serum, so it feels like almost very cooling on the skin, and then once you rub it in, it feels kind of like an oil based serum. Apparently the Banisher serum is the only clear L-ascorbic acid serum. If you are familiar with L-ascorbic acid vitamin C serums, a lot of the time they can turn like yellow or orange, which means that it oxidizes. Once your vitamin C serum oxidizes, it means that it's lost its efficacy. The vitamin C is no longer stable. So yeah, I really like this serum, and I particularly like using it after I've microneedled. You can also use this in the morning. For me, it's probably a little bit too oily because I do have naturally oily skin, so I tend to use it at nighttime. In terms of how often I've been microneedling over this past year, I would say I haven't been the most consistent. Over the past 1 to 2 months, I have religiously been using this once a week. But prior to that, I would go through periods of about a month where I would use it once a week, and then periods where I'd use it maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. On average, about once every 2 weeks, I've probably been using this. I think now might be a good time to show you how I microneedle. Before you start microneedling, the first thing you want to do is disinfect the needles. This little cap here has a fill line, and you fill this up with isopropyl alcohol. Then you screw the little tool back into this cap and you let it sit in the isopropyl alcohol for about 5 minutes. And then you want to take the tool out and let it air dry before you start microneedling. And then once your skin is clean and dry, you can start microneedling. Banish does recommend that you wipe your skin down with alcohol first. Completely up to you if you want to do that or not. I just microneedle after I've cleansed my skin. So how you want to use at least this tool is that you lift up and use it like a stamp on your skin, and you want to go over the same area about 3 to 5 times, and I just rotate it every time I go over so that you're getting sort of a different pattern of the needles stamping your skin. So I'll go like up my cheek this way, rotate it, go again, rotate it once more, and then go again. I probably just go over the same area about 3 times. Again, I have pretty sensitive skin, and my skin gets sufficiently red after microneedling. Your skin is quite hot, which is good. It means that all the nutrients that are in your blood are coming to the skin, which is going to start that wound healing process. And so this serum feels so cooling on the skin afterwards. I apply the serum, pat it into my skin. I do microneedling just before I go to bed. You are going to look a little crazy, but by the next morning, your skin, chef's kiss. Sometimes it can feel a little bit prickly or sensitive still the next day. I try to let my skin breathe the next day, or just use very minimal makeup, and I don't use any abrasive AHAs, BHAs, acids, retinol for at least another day. You do not want to microneedle over any area where you have a rash, any kind of infection, wound, or acne. Just avoid those areas. So for me, I was having some breakouts on my forehead because I recently went off the pill, so I've been breaking out a little bit, and I'll link that video up here. It should be the video that goes live just before this one. So for me, last week when I microneedled, I didn't touch my forehead because I had too many little bumps there. You just don't want to be spreading bacteria all around your skin. So I think now is a good time to show you how my skin's looking now and give you a little update. I hope you'll be able to see from the videos and like comparisons, but I can 100% notice a difference in my skin. Of course, I still have scarring. This is only 0.5 millimeter depth. If I wanted to completely rid myself of all scarring, I would probably have to go somewhere and get microneedling done professionally, or laser, or some kind of much more intense scarring treatment. My cheeks is where I had the most acne scarring, and I really hope that you'll be able to appreciate the improvements that I've had. And I'm going to reiterate what I said in my first video, that this is the only thing that has helped me with my acne scarring texture. Yeah, over this past year, I've definitely noticed that over time, the scarring has become more flat and smooth. As I said, sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of myself and be like, ooh, I have kind of like glass skin some days. Unless you have a lot of active acne, I really think that so many different skin types can benefit from microneedling. I find myself recommending microneedling, particularly the Banisher, to so many people. I do think if you were to get microneedling professionally done with very long needles done by a professional, you would probably see results a lot quicker. But I know a lot of people can't afford that, myself included, so I think microneedling at home, I think you can still get some really great results. So I hope this update helped those of you who have been asking some questions about microneedling and how my skin is now. Essentially, yeah, I still microneedle and I will continue to microneedle because even now I still see that my skin is improving. Leave any questions that you have below. I also do have a discount code if you are interested in the Banisher or anything by Banish. I'll leave that on the screen here and also in the description box. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.